Welcome to the Loveland Report and Loan Arranger Show. I am Cleve Loveland, Central Florida's best real estate planner, alongside Bruce Woodburn, the Loan Arranger. And we're going to talk about interest rates. We're going to talk about holiday selling. I've got a couple things I want to address. We've got 50-year mortgages in the news. Is it a good time of year to sell? And mom and dad's house. What do you do when mom and dad, unfortunately, may pass on, or they got to go to assisted living and they move in with you? What are we going to do about that? So we'll talk about that today, Bruce. What do you got?
Good idea to have a plan in place, isn't it?
Yes.
You know, maybe a will and a trust, and maybe a ladybird deed.
Sounds like a real estate plan is
Isn't
needed.
that something?
Yep.
Do you offer those services? Do you offer that advice, right? You connect people with, of course you do.
Yep.
Because we want to make sure that our clients are always protected. And you know what? It's so difficult when I see somebody in front of me that didn't set their estate up properly, and then they're relying on the state to make their important decisions for them.
Yep.
How do you like that?
Yeah, probate's not a good thing.
It's not
So
good.
let's handle that. Let's handle your real estate. But what do you got in the news this week?
Well, we got a lot of things. So we've been dealing with the government shutdown. I think that's going to be pretty well.
I think that's behind us.
I hope so. It's behind us. Things can pop up, but yeah, I think that's behind us. What happened to the market? What did interest rates do? I do want to get into the 50-year mortgages that Trump has announced and how that could impact people. And then I want to talk about some news that Fannie Mae came out with that might make it easier for low credit score buyers to buy or refinance. So there's a lot of things we got to cover in this hour.
Let's jump in with the 50-year mortgage. I heard that. And I remember a while ago, I think it was before 2021, 2021, or 2020, before COVID. I think I remember hearing about 40-year mortgages.
Yep. Well, we used to have 40-year mortgages.
And
I had 40-year mortgages.
It's all interest.
Well, it's interesting. So here's the reality. Trump's intention is to help combat affordability. We know that affordability is a primary issue with people buying a home right now or refinancing. It's just tough. People are struggling with that. So a 50-year mortgage would extend the term out an additional 20 years. So I've looked pretty deep into this, Cleve, and here's my take on it. First of all, is an interest rate the same for a 15-year mortgage as a 30-year mortgage?
No,
of course not. It's much lower.
How about a 20? I wanted to ask you.
Okay, 20 somewhere in between.
Okay,
but we're not talking about 20. We're talking about 50 right now. Don't get me off on my ADD.
Go ahead.
Okay?
Go ahead.
So a 15-year is a lower rate because the risk level is less for the bank and it's not extended over a period of time. So now, if you have a 30-year mortgage, and let's just say a 30-year mortgage right now is at 6.3. A 50-year mortgage is 20 more years.
Yep.
It's going to be somewhere, if the 30-year was 6.3, it's going to be somewhere around 6.8.
8% or something.
No, it'll probably be 6.8 to 7%. When you factor in the higher interest rate and you look at a $400,000 mortgage, it will only save you $136 a month.
And I was going to mention this. I mean, aren't you better off to, like, you buy new construction, there's enough closing costs there usually to buy the rate down into the fives.
Sure it is, but even if it's not new construction, you can still
buy your rate down. Yeah.
You can buy your rate down.
Or do the temporary buy down.
The temporary buy down, you still have to qualify at the end loan rate.
Yep. Okay.
But a permanent buy down, you can qualify with whatever you're buying it permanent. I do a mixture of a permanent and a temporary, and that gets the client everything they need.
Well, this is what it's about. Like, they need to they need to talk to you, go to webringyouhome.com and get their app started, and then figure out what's the right medicine.
Well, 50-year mortgage is not a guaranteed thing.
Wall Street won't have an appetite for it either.
Well, here's the problem with it. Let's just put this in perspective. First of all, 50-year mortgage meets Dodd-Frank guidelines, does not meet quality mortgage guidelines. So quality mortgage would have to be completely changed, and they would have to allow for mortgages greater than 30 years. So that's one hurdle to overcome. I don't think that's a big one to overcome. But then you have to look at money is time and time is money. So a 50-year mortgage, if you got one, it would be 1975. What was the dollar worth in 1975 compared to now? So when you're factoring in a 50-year mortgage, a lot of things change. Inflation continues to go up.
Yeah.
And if it's only going up at 2 to 3%, not 9, 10, 12, like we've seen in the last few Biden years, but even if it goes up at 3%, it just literally erodes the money. I don't see a taste in it for banks. I don't see a benefit in it for clients. I think a 30-year mortgage is as far as you should ever.
Here's what the younger generation I see, they don't understand. I never had a $900 BMW lease when I was
Now it's
25.
common for me to see that.
And you see that on credit reports and you big car payments and big car leases because the delayed gratification is not there.
Cleve, I see people making $50,000 a year with a $600 car payment. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do it.
7,000 of their income.
And meanwhile, listen, I can afford any car I want. I'm driving a 2010 Beater. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I drive. A Beater.
Yep.
Why? It's paid for. I don't have any payments.
Yep.
My insurance is low. I mean, come on. Do you have to have a BMW? Do you really have to have that?
Yep.
But you're right. The society has instant gratification. If I can't look shiny and new, then I don't want to do it.
But the house is where you actually get the wealth. And this is where, and we've had, like, Wall Street's been cooking for about 4 years. It's been doing well. And these slowdowns take about 3 to 5 years to come out of. We're in the third or fourth year of a slow real estate market where things just really put the brakes on. And that's going to turn around. And I can't wait. Next show next week, I will have numbers for inventory, for sales. It looks like the sales are going to start beating 2024, which is what we need.
Very nice.
That shows us we bottomed out. Inventory has been dropping for 6 months. This is why, Bruce, when I go talk to sellers, I look at their house. Like, you can look online and get an online valuation of your house, but is that right?
No, it's not
they don't know if you've got a $100,000 pool in your backyard. And also, if there are 3 homes that just sold in your neighborhood, we're vacation rentals or beat to heck or never maintained or the same owner for 40 years.
Zillow does not give you that information.
No. That's why you need a good real estate planner to help you. And that's what I help people with all the time. Because I want to jump into my next thing was
first, give your phone number out.
All right. 407-352-8118 for your real estate plan, and cleveloveland.com. But like this time of year, Bruce, I just had 2 of my busiest months. And on your number 2, go ahead.
I'd like to give out my number just so people know how to reach the Loan Arranger as well. You can reach me now at 407-250-9144. That's 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com.
All right. But this time of year, I've actually just had 2 of my busiest months, which tells me the market is thawing. I'm a slice of the market. I don't know how you say it. I sell in 6 counties.
Microcosm.
Yeah, there you go. And great word of the day there from Bruce. And it's just, I sell all over Central Florida. And I see what happens and I see what's going on. In the last 3 months, the buyer traffic has picked up. I know yours
really
has.
Absolutely.
And discounting your refis, your buyer traffic has picked up. So that's picked up. I'm hearing from builders, they're a little bit busier. Builders, that's every month. They want to sell 20 homes. They want to sell 50 homes. They want to sell 100. And they're doing better than last year. They're seeing more traffic. So this is what hopefully we're looking forward to in the holiday selling. And right now, you go on the market, you might not have a contract till January or February.
Nope. No, you may not. So listen, the 50-year mortgages, I'm on the fence on. Okay. Then we have another thing too. Fannie Mae just came out and announced that they are eliminating the minimum credit score of 620. So there's no longer a minimum credit score requirement of 620 on conventional loans. How do you like that?
Well, but
all right.
Those people usually don't have the down payment anyway.
It's one of those things. It sounds good when you say it fast, right?
But if they got a 500 credit score, I doubt they're saving 20% of their paycheck every week.
So here's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Okay. FHA doesn't really have a credit score requirement, but conventional has. But FHA, even though they don't have a credit score requirement, doesn't mean you can have any credit score and still get a mortgage. It's not going to be any different for Fannie Mae. It's still going to be based on risk. So if you had, say, a 600 credit score and you had 12 months worth of cash reserves after you closed, and you've been on the job for 4 years and your debt ratio is only 25%, it may work for you. But if you've got a 610 credit score, you have literally $300 left in the bank after you close, you've had 5 jobs in the last 2 years, and your debt ratio is 55%, it's still not going to work. It will work if you have all your ducks in a row and credit might be your only issue. But other than that, it's going to be what we consider compensating factors.
And this is where they need to get their application into you, because you can tell somebody, let's say they've got a 580 credit score and you can get their application. You can say, do this and this.
Yes.
And over a month or two, let's say they got a lease running out in 3, 4, 5 months, you can probably get that score up. How much can you move a score if somebody listens to you?
I'm going to tell you, well, it depends on what the problem is with that person's credit. However, I have a gentleman right now, a veteran, and most of the time people don't listen to you. Okay.
Yep.
This guy listened to me, and he would call me every week. Bruce, I paid that off. Bruce, I paid that down. Bruce, I did this. Bruce, I did that. Now he's only getting like a $200,000 house. I've already got about 80 hours worth of work into it. However, the guy's a veteran, and I'm going to pour into him, and I'm going to do everything I can for him. Okay. But I'm like, dude, you qualify for a $400,000 house. Why are you buying a $200,000 trailer?
Yep.
That's all I want, Bruce. That's all I want. Then we're going to help you with that. We will help you get your score up so you get the best interest rate. Because to be honest with you, my interest rates aren't really any different than anybody else's. They're not. They're all set by the government. They're government mortgage-backed securities. So the difference is in the level of service, how quick you can close, and the level of advice that I give my clients. I think that, and my wife says, boy, you spend more time with your clients than you do with your own family. I'm like, that's a horrible thing to say, but she's probably right about that. She's probably right. But here's the thing. I want people to win. It makes me win if you win. So I want you to win. I want you to get better. Your interest rate that you pay on a mortgage is based on your credit score, not my rate. My rate's the same as everybody else's. Your credit determines your interest rate. Now, as a direct lender, does that give me a little bit more flexibility? Yes, it absolutely does. Not having overlays on loans, meaning additional restrictions, does that help? Yes, because banks have tons of overlays that make it tougher for people to qualify. We don't have that. If you want to get qualified by the loan arranger, you want to buy a house, you want to refi, you need a home equity, call me now at 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com.
All right.
That's the scoop.
So
I got more to talk about Zillow, but I don't want to talk about it till we're on the next segment.
Okay. And I just think right now, I mean, we're just coming into a good season. I think the winter sales are going to match the summer sales we've had because of rates being down. On average, rates are down 0.5%. That's an extra 30 grand worth of buying power, about 30 to 40 grand.
That's about right.
You know what you're doing. And then I think talking to you is worth an extra $50,000 worth of buying power when you help them with their credit score. You help them with the right type of loan. You help them with the down payment and figuring out what's the best loan for them.
Yeah.
Because real quick, with our last minute here, all the products you have, run through the list.
Oh gosh, it's so long, but I've got FHA, VA, USDA, conventional, jumbo, reverse mortgages, home equity line of credit, renovation loans, construction perm loans, cannabis loans. I mean, I can go on and on. I've got 200 different products to choose from. There is a product for everyone.
And so the cannabis loan, you got to test positive or what?
So I don't know. I've never really done one. I just know
I'm assuming that's for a dealer. An owner of
it's not to buy weed. I can tell you that right now. I think it's for people that own cannabis. And I did do a loan for a guy out of California that does own cannabis farms. And he came back to me this week to do a second mortgage with me. So I'm super excited about that. I haven't had an opportunity to tour the farm yet, but if I ever make it to California, I might have to make
I see you more in a whiskey factory.
Me too.
In a distillery. So, all right. So call Cleve Loveland 407-352-8118. If you one of those rooftops on your street, I probably help sell it, buy it, or manage it as an investment. Call me or go to cleveloveland.com.
Yeah, or call Bruce Woodburn, the loan arranger. We are right here. Cleve and I are in your backyard, and we are committed to making sure you always get the very, very best in your real estate needs. Purchase. You want to buy, you want to sell, you want to refi, you want to build, you need equity lines. Cleve and I are right here to help you. My number is 407-250-9144 or webringyouhome.com. Don't go anywhere. When we get back, Cleve, I want to talk about Zillow because people use Zillow, and I want to tell you something that's going on with it that you won't want to miss. And then I want to hear all about your new listings you have. We'll be back in 5 minutes with more of the Loveland Report, Loan Arranger Show.